And we have returned, chat. So up next should be Woofer at Diamond, I believe. Um, and a player. I think my nanos were a bit scuffed this game, but I was looking to hit more to use nano faster. Let's just go look at that. There's loads. We are now watching. And up next should be Deutschland. Right, let's just get straight to it. I think you're in chat. If you're not, I'll ping you in case you're not.
Ready for battle.
Yeah, you're here? Okay, good. Number 9. So, Una attack. You got a Mercy, so you've got to focus really on healing your tanks. Zarya is who you're mostly going to be playing with. Keep in mind, if the enemy team dives you, which like Doomfist is the only one who's gonna do it, but like Zarya is the only one who can save you, so you should stay close to your Zarya. That's how double bubble usually works, you just play with your Zarya. Also, because you're a sniper, you don't have to go out this way. You can just go out this way. Which, you know, a lot of people spam the main door. You are still dodging the spam, which is solid. But yeah, look at that. Nade the ground, just nade the ground. It's early enough that nading the ground will not have a major impact in the fight. So you could have naded at like 51, 52. We'll see if when you use it. You can see that it's already going to be 42, 41. Yeah. Good kill from your weather. Doomfist, you can try to sleep in, that's fine. Actually pretty decent nade. You should rotate back and heal your tanks, this is solid. Overall, that's been pretty okay. No major mistakes there. Other than if you are not going to need it for a long time, it's okay to nade the ground. If you're going to need it because the fight's about to start, then yeah, don't waste the grenade, but pushing the page is good. Healing your mercy if you can. Yep, that's solid. Your widow's dead, but not a lot you can do about that. The Hanzo headshots. We kill the Hanzo. Stay on the payload. Unfortunate. Like your monkey just gets bursted down while you reload and make this rotation. Yeah, unfortunate. Do I think you could have done something about it? Honestly, no. Technically, yes, if you hadn't thrown your nade, but it was an okay time to throw your nade, and the monkey was full HP. He just got burst back. He just got burst down really quickly, which happens a lot when he doesn't have the bubble. It was more of the fact that he engaged without the bubble, or that your Zarya missed the bubble, than anything else. Wasting the grenade, like don't just throw it at the Reinhardt, he'll just block it. Good sleep though. Playing safe, dodging the Reinhardt chasing you. You did end up in a really bad position with Freeze Diamond. Yeah, I just forgot to change that. Nade yourself, you did not nade yourself, you threw the nade too far out. Just nade the ground, nade the ground. You actually throw the nade too far away to heal yourself. Which you could have survived. You actually did not survive because you did not hit yourself with the grenade. Which is a big problem. You got to prioritize your survival. Like, survive. You make it rest still. Yeah. Mercy's right. Just get out. Meteor strike, just play a corner. Yeah, this is fine. Okay, your monkey's going in. Unfortunate for the nade, but it should be okay anyway. Just prioritize healing your monkey, prioritize healing your monkey. He primals, that's fine. And again, need to rotate back earlier where the monkey died. I don't think you need to rotate like I'm going back all the way. Like when your monkey died, hold on. I'm not sure it's that you needed to rotate back earlier. Like, you have a decent line of sight on the monkey right now. Like, you can see the monkey. He just gets, like, literally, look at his health. This is what happens when you go in without a bubble. Takes 200 damage. Tries to use his own bubble, but he's already dead. He dies in, like, 1 second. And even if you had did one shot on him, he probably would have died anyway. Plus, you're pushing the payload as well. Oh, when he... Okay, I see what you mean. Instead of going... You should have gone this way. Yeah, I can understand that. Yeah, you should have gotten out when your monkey died. But, like, you tried to a little bit, and then you just were like, no. Which I also understand you don't want to cross this, but... Honestly, with monkey dead, it's probably just a lost fight. But yeah, like, in theory, when the monkey died, rather than going this way, you could have gone that way. But that fight was probably lost regardless of what you did. And the reason you died was not that you got split, the reason you died is that you missed with your grenade, right? If you had hit your grenade, yeah, it was definitely like... You almost died doing this, but... You would have almost died doing this if you did it early, because they got range, right? And they can dive you, and they got range. And they got range. So if you did this earlier, you could have died. But if you did it later, you did die because you didn't know yourself. And you, not the biggest deal. Good shot. Alright. You try to kill your monkey while engaging, then he posts primal. You do need to prioritize healing a little tiny bit more, if you can. Again, your tanks are priority. Now he's undead like he wasn't before. And we just got... Yeah, that was... Overall, you're not doing bad, by the way. You're doing okay. It's just been a couple of small mistakes that... Basically, if you die, the fight is over, and then you just died once and that fight was lost. Probably lost already, but you could have saved yourself with an 8. Nano monkey engage is fine. You throw the grenade aggressively. We kill someone, you go back to the point, which is fine. You wait for monkey, then you heal him. This is good. Overall, you've actually played pretty well thus far. I don't see a big reason that you should be fixing things, other than if you've got to use your nade to heal yourself, use your nade to heal yourself. Like on the very first, as soon as you got out of the spawn, you did not want to use it, and then you missed it on the second time. So that's the quote-unquote mistake you've made, but it's not a big mistake. You reload, we kill the Rhine, you take the high ground, it's okay. So you should probably move the payload with this comp, or be with the Zarya, like... If you don't want to move the payload, then you should be with your Zarya. Those are usually your best positions. Either move the payload so your team can push forward, because you're a sniper, right? And from here you can basically heal anyone. Or go with your Zarya. And you are going with your Zarya, just to kill on time. Okay. That's just a matter of not being close enough to your Zarya, and not reaching cover if you want. If you want to play back, I'm okay with you playing back, but there is no reason you should be in the open. Like, this is good, but then you just go in the open, right? Like, this is fine, but then you just die in the open, I think, at least.
Adaptive circuits engaged. Reinhardt.
Right? Like, you were playing the corner correctly, but you just kept doing this for no reason. And I don't think you were trying to heal someone that was out of your line of sight either. You're just hitting with Zarya and moving left and right. Right? There is no reason for you to be picking the Hanzo. You're literally doing the Hanzo. This is not what you wanna do. You're literally doing the Hanzo and in the open. Instead, you just play here and heal the Zarya, and if you have to, you can come this way and heal the team from here too. But here you just die because you are dueling the Hanzo. Rather than focusing on healing and, like, you know, surviving, you try to duel Hanzo. And this is like the second time you've gone for damaging someone over healing. The first time it didn't really matter as much because your monkey had primal. You're gonna get rest. Never mind. And you actually lost this fight. Should have picked right side. Here? Yeah, you could just... Again, ideally just don't duel a Hanzo. It takes you 3 shots to kill Hanzo without any healing. He's got healing even. Whereas he needs 1 shot. Instead, just focus on killing the Zarya. Pick this side if you need to heal down, but if you don't need to heal down, then there's no problem. You can just stay here and heal this area. Hanzo cannot actually shoot at you if you're playing a feet further back, where you can heal your Zarya anyway. The alternative is just playing literally behind your Zarya, so Zarya's hitbox, which is pretty big, covers your hitbox, which is smaller. Right? Those are your 2 options. Again, just play very safe, like clearing sidelines, or play literally behind Zarya, so that Zarya will take all of the damage, and if she dies, but you can pump killing into her. This is doing neither thing. And I think actually we've lost 2 fights because of your mistakes just dying early. One, because you just missed a nade, which is not a big deal. You tried to nade yourself, I think, on the first one where you were getting out and just missed. And this one was definitely your fault. Don't try to do the Hanzo. Don't try to do the Widow. Don't try to do an Ashe. If you just catch them by surprise in the open without healing, that you can get 1 or 2 shots in them, that's okay. But dueling is something different. Dueling is like a straight up duel. You don't want to do that. You're at a disadvantage. Like, see that? I'm okay with that. It's not dueling. Doomfist is trying to retreat, and you're just doing damage to the Doomfist, which is fine. Nade yourself. Don't peek the window, and nade yourself. Did you nade the Baptiste? Yeah, but he would have died anyway. Nading yourself is more important.
You're going to be okay.
Payload moving forward.
I need healing.
And this is good. You are dodging the Hanzo, right? You're playing behind your team. Hanzo dies, but that's okay. You should be ready to drop if you get Meteor Strike, but should be fine. Sleep. Good sleep. Good kill. Safe position. Not the best position, but good enough. Because if the enemy want to contest you, your tanks can go in, which is what's happening right now. Now I will be fine with you throwing a nade. You've got basically full HP. Yeah, good nade, good nade. You can nade someone, they don't have dragon. The Hanzo's dead. So you can nade like your Zarya. Sorry, nano your Zarya. Nano you... Why? He already has primal. He's not in danger. And he's not the one in the grab. Just nano your Zarya. Maybe even your Echo. Okay, we win this anyway. And they use Dragon Chew. This is fine.
Enemy target located.
This is good. Just play at range. The Hanzo sleep is... The Hanzo's not sleeping. The Hanzo's dead, so you can do damage if you want. Now you should probably be rotating back to the payload. Or to the high ground. I think payload is better though. This is not too bad. I would say this is probably better for you. Mostly because... Well, yeah, Hanzo can see you in both angles. If you're playing up here, you can just drop, right? If you're playing here, right, and picking out, you can drop straight to your team, to the mini. You've got, like, Hanzo is the only one who can contest you. So, yeah, it's probably better. Mostly just in the fact that you're just out safer. Even Doomfist will need to use more coolness to get to you. We grab dragons, heal your monkey. Solid healing. We just don't kill anything with grab dragons, which, unfortunate but not your fault. Really good sleep. Tryhard players do not jump before shattering. I am tired of saying this. And I'm showcasing you because it's a great sleep from you. But like, do not jump before shattering because it takes longer to land. Just go for the shatter.
Flight routine.
Great sleep anyway. And you can see that he would have gotten slept anyway. But he could have gotten the shatter out, and there would have been a follow-up on either side, which is a lot better for him than just dying here because he's just gonna die here. Good night. He should die. Yeah. How does he not? Okay. Well, unfortunately, he gets nanoed. You can nano your hawk here. You can nano anyone. Right?
You're powered up. Get in.
Monkey is okay. Sleep the sleep the Doomfist maybe, or sleep the Reinhardt if you want. Doomfist is good.
Correct choice.
You wake him up, but yeah. Unfortunate, no one built for you. You could have just gotten out. You stay trying to kill the Doomfist for too long, which I understand. When you sleep someone, you want to kill them. And then you just didn't have your cooldowns and you were in a bad position. Then you just punch. You could have played here in theory, but that's just nitpicking. Like, I feel most Annas in your place will just do whatever you did. What you did. I feel like the fight was lost before that. I feel like you should have slept someone earlier for sure, but also just nano someone earlier. And again, it doesn't have to be the monkey. You can nano Echo. Echo's actually really good because she just gets ult, like her ult is fight winning. And again, another situation where if you had been here, if you managed to get another way to high ground, it's just really good for you. Like, there's a reason a lot of snipers like Widow just play here. It's just really good. You've got cover. You got a mini behind you. It's very difficult to get to it. It's just a really good spot. Especially for you during the corner. Your Mercy. There's a Doomfist behind you. Good healing on your Widow. Okay, unfortunate. You end up a little too far forward, but at this point, it's maybe not a lost fight. But it's gonna be very difficult to win, yeah. Look away and run. Look away and run. Okay, good. No! Good sleep, but you're gonna die. Nothing you can do about that one. I do think there was nothing you could do at that point, but... Overall, what do I think? You've died a couple times where you did not have to die. And I feel like you're prioritizing nanoing the monkey a lot. Which, yeah, monkey is a good nano target, but... Like, Zarya is a good nano target, Echo is a good nano target. It doesn't have to be always the monkey. Especially if he's already got primal, right? If he has if he's got primal, or if he's not in a threat, it doesn't have to be always monkey. Monkey is a great nano target, don't get me wrong, but sometimes you can nano someone else, especially when you got like Zarya caught in a grab and you want to make sure that Zarya survives. Nanoing Zarya will also give your team a lot more damage to force the enemy team to back out. Nanoing Echo is just insane amount of damage, or the copy is insane amount of damage. So yeah, too long to read. I feel like you should play for survival a little more. Especially like, don't pick a Hanzo. Don't put yourself at risk by picking a Hanzo. Don't be afraid to use the nade early to heal yourself if you've got to. Hit yourself with the nade. And nano the right people. This case, honestly, like, you don't have great targets. Like, Zarya is good with charge, but you got to make sure your Zarya's got value, and Rotok is just not good. Unless he's got his ultimate and they don't have a way to hit it, in which case he can get value. You missed a few shots on that Widow, but it's okay. You got your Mercy on her, so focus your tanks, focus your tanks, focus your tanks, that's okay. You already got 16 nano and it's been pretty fine. I don't love your position, like, you can play here, pick this way, and then drop, which gives you more than anything else. It gives you safety against Doomfist, right? Or any other flanker. Like being on the high ground gives you more safety against Doomfist because he's got to commit a cooldown to get to the high ground or go all the way around and go through the open. Whereas here he can just be like, oh, I take the high ground anyway, then just drop on you with the slam and kill you.
You're covered.
So the big reason to be on the high ground is just, well, I'm harder to kill.
I will keep you.
Or you could be playing even further back, like all the way here or all the way here. Right? Where the enemy team has to go through the entire open area to get to you anyway. What about Widow? Well, you just don't pick the Widow. You just don't get killed by the Widow by using cover. You deny this Widow's sideline unless you are going for like an aggressive nade or something. You deny this sideline by just not picking it, and you can heal your team from here. And if you go to drop, you can just drop. You don't have to pick the Widow this way if they have a Widow. You can still heal your team from up here and just be like, okay, well, I can pick this way, heal, whatever, heal. You can get to the corner, and if the Widow is busy, then you can maybe go aggressive this way. Or you can also go out this way, by the way. You can definitely go out this way in case you don't know. But the most important thing is that you can just drop. You've got the option to drop if you have to. Like, if your Rodok overextends and you cannot see him from up there, like he's doing right now, you can just drop. It takes like no time, and then heal him anyway, right? Whereas you don't have the option to go up if you want. Like, if you're playing, like, let's say you're playing here, you don't have the option to just get out immediately. You've got to go all the way around and take the high ground, while dropping is literally just for free. Anywho, if you don't want to play here, I would definitely recommend here or here. This is a little more dangerous, especially, like I said, against the Widow, but you can still play with that pillar and heal your team here, go a little aggressive here if you need healing. The problem with this is, of course, this, which Widow can shoot you from. But even then, you can see that Ana's hitbox is not much bigger than the car, so it's very difficult. But mostly just stop the Doomfist from engaging on you for free. Or a Genji, or a Tracer. A high ground helps against all of those. High ground helps against all of those.
You're powered up.
You could, okay, decent. I was gonna say you could try to sleep the Doomfist, but decent nano anyway, and we can probably rest that. Yep, decent anti, like there was an attempt. And this is not a terrible position, by the way. Playing around this is solid. Would be right side since we don't have high ground. You mean this? This is not bad because you can heal your team over there, or you can heal your team over here. Right? And it's very, very close. The one thing you've got to watch out for is someone coming all the way around here. But if you're healing from here, you can see it. This is actually really good because it creates a lot of distance between you and the enemy. You can also, hold on, let me just go. You can also like hide yourself from this angle, right? By just using this and healing from here. Or if you've got to pick, you can just go all the way and heal that way. It's the only thing that can actually get you. And so long as you don't just like stay here and do nothing, you can deny the sideline, right? Like I said earlier. Usually step on Mega. Yeah, like I said, this is my favorite. This is my favorite because from here you can heal everything. If you need to go to Mega, you can go Mega as well. So yeah, this is just my favorite. You can play here as well if you want to. It's not bad. I like this, and this more than just this. This is just very risky, and even this, right? But I actually like this, and this more than this. The general point of any map is just creating distance between you and the enemy when you're playing a sniper. And now you're just too close.
Watching your back.
Which means you could get killed very easily. Good night though. But then everyone dies. Do we not die? You missed the sleep. Advice, don't go for sleep during the uppercut. Because he always will go above you. It's very difficult to hit the sleep
No one.
if you're uppercut. If he goes for the uppercut and he is not targeting you, and he just does it here, then it's easy. But if you are being uppercutted, it's more difficult.
I'm taking care of you.
See through the dragon's eyes.
Valkyrie is ready.
Okay, are we gonna re-engage? We almost have grab dragons, which
Just a scratch.
they don't have a counter for, so we could win with grab dragons. Keep your Zarya alive, that's your priority, because grab dragons, right? I will even be okay with you nading your Zarya early just to have more healing. You attempt to go for that, unfortunate. No one contests, the grab is missed. You did what you could. Like, why did we just eat the grab? Did you just panic because no one was in the point? No, she just looked around. And then yeeted the grab. Okay, well, not your fault. It's not your job to contest the payload, so nothing I can say about that. And we're just dead. Which you just get grabbed, which is again not your fault. She's touching with grab. I wish she had touched with grab. She does not touch, and she misses the grab. Right? Touching with grab would have been fine. But neither do we touch because we got too late. She just yeets the grab out of in the middle of nowhere. It's just very late. Like, I thought she was going to go like now. And that's why I said you can nade the Zarya so that she can go aggressive. Like, the thing with nade is, of course, for 3 seconds your team gets 150% healing, right? So your 70 healing per shot is actually 105 healing per shot. Which can make a big difference if your Zarya is going to contest, especially. And I'm actually okay with this nade, but our Zarya is just way too late. And then you just try to grab meteor strike. Space jump, as people call it. Go shit up on the back right, this is okay. And your aim is solid, I don't think your aim is the problem. You are missing a couple shots here and there, but your aim is definitely not the problem. I feel like your problem is just mostly, again, making sure you are playing to survive rather than dueling the enemy team. And make sure you take positions that allow you to survive. The harder it is for the enemy to get on top of you, the better. Could be a good, I was gonna say could be a good nade, I don't know. That sleep feels kind of random. Whereas you could be sleeping this instead. Do you die for this? No, Zarya saves you. Again, Zarya is basically the only, Zarya is basically the only person in this team who can peel for you effectively. Good sleep. You should probably nade them.
You're powered up. Get in there.
I don't love this. The one time you don't save sleep for Doomfist. Yeah. But again, it just is very unlikely that you hit the sleep on that Reinhardt because, you know, Reinhardt. I don't love this, but it's probably winnable. It's not won, it's winnable. I don't think you should have used Nano, I'll be honest. I understand why you did it. You were like, hey, maybe we can win this fight. Doomfist is sleeping and people are coming back. So I understand why you did it. I don't think it was necessary or warranted. And here, if you die, you're dead, yeah. Again, and this is why I said this, you should have just naded the Doomfist along with yourself, because you were low on HP. Like here, when you slept him, not right away, of course. Just wait for the nano to wear off, wait for the shields to wear off, and you can be like, I'm gonna be here, nade him, nade myself, try to 1v1 the Doomfist, and I think that's the best you can do in this situation. Like, having an extra 100 health would definitely help, and the fact that he's got to pick you to go out. Like, imagine... Now, right? Is nade him, take a shot at him to do about 130 damage, get out, play safe. If he wants to chase you, he's either going to pick you for another 70 damage or... Yeah. But yeah, this was probably a lost fight anyway. That's my point. Anywho. You get revived, okay. I don't think that was good. And yeah, you can't get out. That's on your mercy, not on you. Your mercy should not have revived you there. To be fair, you did commit nano, so maybe your mercy was like, maybe this fight is winnable. Anywho, and again, the biggest thing I think you should do is just prioritize your survival. Like, you should have just naded yourself. If you're at 50 HP, there is no reason not to nade yourself. Again, unless you can be healed by someone else and that someone else is free and you will need the nade soon enough. There is variance to anything in Overwatch, but mostly just survive. Because if you die, like, your team will fall apart. Solid, probably heal McCree and reload. Yeah, my reload. Unlucky, nade the ground, heal the Widow, heal yourself. Nade the ground, heal the Widow, heal yourself. And then you get out. Instead, you know what? At least you heal yourself. I'm okay with that, but you did basically just give your Widow up. Like, no chance your Widow survives. Good bash by your break, and now he's dead. You should have just naded yourself and your Widow. Would it have helped? Maybe. Remember that Meteor Strike does 300 damage in a small circle, and then it falls off a lot faster than you may think. So your Widow may have to survive with full health. So we got grab and nothing to combat with, which is unfortunate. You should be looking to throw a nade at the grab though, if we got a decent grab, which we did not. Wasted a nade. That Doomfist came from nowhere, I did not even see him, but he went on Brigitte. Sleep, good sleep, great sleep in fact. Nade this area, because there is no way your team doesn't wake up, just nade this area. Oh, unfortunate. Okay, overall, again, you're playing pretty solid, you're making mistakes here and there, and I think your positioning could do some work just to make sure you are not, dying. Like, this should be okay, then you drop. Remember, the big thing with high ground is that dropping is free, right? So you can start here, you can maybe even go here, now that they have, well, they have a Doomfist, now they have a Widow. But while they did not have a Widow, you can play here, so that you don't get poked up by the Hanzo, get value to your team over here. If you have to drop, you just drop. Which, again, the big thing with high ground is that dropping is free. You can drop at any time, but you cannot get up at any time. It just, like I usually say, having more options is good. It means you can react to different things accordingly. If a Doomfist dives you, and you're on the high ground, you can just drop, and he's got to chase you. If you're on the low ground and Doomfist dives you, you get uppercutted to death. And of course, like, if you're playing on this side and going that way, then you are not vulnerable to being sniped, unless you poke, in which case Widow can just shoot at you. But you can definitely just, like, hold on. Right? Especially when your team is holding the corner. And then if your team is holding this choke, you just do this. And then if you go to drop, you just drop. Which takes no time. Random sleep, but now they have a Widow, so it's not as important for you to save it. Oops. This is definitely a winnable game though. And again, who are you going to nano? Sari and McCree are good targets. Like, McCree can kill people with headshots. One can one-tap people with headshots. Oh, I don't like this though. We've already won this fight. This is a terrible nano. Like, we don't need this nano at all. We've killed their Ana and their Hanzo. This is not winnable for them. I don't like this nano. Especially because we also full hog.
You're powered up.
Oh, sorry. Whole hog. I don't like this nano at all. Then you just go for a... What was that meant to hit? Scuffed names there. The scuffed nan... Is this where you start scuffing nanos? To be fair, your nanos have not been great overall, but they've not been terrible. You've wasted a couple. Sorry, you've wasted a couple. Which is to say you just gave them to your monkey? Which is not bad. Like, monkey can get value out of nano. This nano, though, you can just save.
You're powered up. Get in there.
And what were you trying to sleep? I have no idea why you're trying to sleep. Someone from spawn, but they got the barrels? I don't know. Anywho, this should just be a win of fight. I won fight already, actually. It's solid, doesn't get anyone, but again, I'm okay with people using nades early if they have them back during the fight. It's fine. It's free value if you can get it. 8 PM sleep. Actually, pretty decent nade. I don't think it got anyone, but the idea was good. The enemy was pushing forward. Maybe you could have gotten 2 or 3 people. You do not need it for defense. So I like the idea of that nade. And again, actually, let me just... Very important, if you are playing on the high ground, you can heal people who got shattered over here. But this is okay.
It's just a scratch.
By the way, imagine if you had nano for this. So everything goes 50% faster, right? Let's see how close that would have gotten McCree to, well, killing people. 2, 1, dead, dead, dead. Would have been a really good nano target. He also does not click the left click while he's got 2 people on the thing, which is not your fault. But, you know, nano Hanyon is actually pretty solid.
Scratch. You'll be fine.
Heal your tanks, heal your tanks, heal your tanks, heal your tanks. Good nade. Touch the Hanzo, and again, you can play with silence. Like, you're actually doing this pretty well. Sorry, that's not you. By playing with the silence, you can avoid the Hanzo from shooting you and heal your team, right? You just stop dueling Hanzo. Stop dueling Hanzo, though. Like, I'm tired of saying this. Stop dueling Hanzo. Hanzo is not one you can win. Nade the ground? You don't need to, actually. Decent nade. Good sleep. Nade, 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 nade. Good nade. Stop dueling the Hanzo. You got to keep your heart alive. I think he got purple at the last second, which... Right, but you could have kept him alive if you... One more shot. 100 HP, 105 exactly. You definitely could have kept him alive. Because Vine swings to 85, and because it's nano, they go to 127.5. And your Rotok had... $23. That's 105. It's exactly 128. You could have kept your Rotok alive. Shame on you. By exactly 1 HP. You could have kept your Roadhog alive. Which probably would have given you nano in like 2 shots. Which would have turned the fight around. Or could have turned the fight around at least. If you just healed your Roadhog. And yes, I have to do the math on that, but you could have kept your Roadhog alive. You're now a Wrecking Ball though, which is still decent. Sleep, sleep him, sleep him, sleep him, sleep him! Oh, you don't have sleep, never mind. I'm dumb. I said sleep, sleep, you don't have it. Where did you use your sleep? On the Hanzo?
You're powered up. Get in there.
You tried to sleep the Reinhardt? Oh yeah, you tried to sleep the Reinhardt. Oh, you actually did sleep the Reinhardt. Good night though. And he chases you, which is actually fine. Like, nothing you can do about that one. This is a lost game, right? That was very close though. And again, you can see that you are not really throwing, but some of the fights you could have changed the outcome just by focusing on healing. Healing and surviving. So it's not like you are actively just throwing the games, you could have just changed the impact of the fight. Not necessarily every time, but there were like 2 or 3 fights in particular where you could have gotten more value. Namely this one and the one where you're trying to run out and net to the ground and miss yourself. But yeah, overall, pretty solid gameplay. Small by impact mistakes, yeah, exactly. Especially like, again, you need to prioritize healing. Very important, healing your tanks. Very important. But also surviving, and the idea of surviving is, at least in my opinion, if you just play the high ground more, it's a lot more difficult to get to you. Like, even the soldier at the very end, like... Look the flank, like... You are basically untouchable up there. Like, you're playing in a position where no one in the enemy team can even get to you. And this soldier has to go for this entire flank to even get to the high ground. Right, he goes for this entire flank behind you, not getting value for a good 8 seconds to get to the high ground and, well, push you. So this is why it's very important to just take the high ground. And dropping is free. Right, you just drop and he uses his ultimate. He uses his cooldowns. Even now he's chasing you with his ultimate. So he literally used one ultimate of his cooldowns to get up here, and all of the time you were just getting value, getting value, getting value, getting value. It's very important because it makes it a little more difficult to get to you. Which, you know, it can be really good because, again, the longer you survive, the more killing you can do, and the more killing you can do, you can change that into nano, and nano can turn a fight. But yeah, it's small but impactful mistakes. And again, it just mostly comes from, again, your priority should be surviving. Surviving. And then healing. And then you can also do a little damage. Which is the thing I think you should try to tone down a little bit. Not a lot, because again, like, your aim is decent and you are getting some good shots. Like on the Doomfist, you were getting shots while you didn't have really a target to heal. But doing the Hanzo at like long range while your team is fighting, probably not the call. Okay, let's take a 3-minute break shot, and I'll be back with just one more review for the day. Yeah, 3-minute break.